What's up YouTube, Thrift Hunter here. I wanted to show you my gaming PC build here. This is my main computer, my desktop computer that I use for all of my YouTube video production, video gaming, homework, all that kind of stuff. This is the build that I use, and I just wanted to go over some of the components and kind of how much I spent for everything, and just some of the advantages of having a higher end computer as far as like getting work done and stuff like that. So let's kind of go over some of the components. I've got this massive 850 watt power supply, fully modular, huge power supply, more power than most people would need. But we'll I got a Western Digital 1 terabyte Black Series hard drive, pretty nice. The PNY Enthusiast Edition GTX 780 graphics card. I've got the Noctua dual fan large radiator air cooler on top of my Intel 4690 i5 K processor, which is unlocked. Got a standard disk drive in there. I've got 8 gigabytes of HyperX memory, DDR3. I've also got the Gigabyte G1 Sniper Z97 chipset, which is a nice chipset. It comes with pretty much everything I would need on here. You can see my cable management obviously is terrible. Mostly because of this giant power supply. The power cord for this cable, the power cord cable for this is just massive, and which is routed behind. Usually most of these cables would go behind the case, but the power supply cable is just massive, so it's not really gonna allow me to fit that stuff through the back. I do plan on adding a second graphics card. I'm probably gonna run these in SLI configuration once I get that graphics card, but they're pretty expensive. Graphics card was about $325, and the processor was about $235, so pretty expensive. This also is a fairly expensive power supply. But overall, it's a pretty nice rig. I really like it. It does pretty much everything I need it to do. My accessories here, I've got the Logitech G502 mouse, and it's got the unlockable mouse wheel, which is nice. It does have a million buttons, side buttons, which I don't really like because like right here is the DPI control, and sometimes when you're playing a game or something, you might click the DPI and then all of a sudden your mouse is moving really fast, so you kind of have to watch out for that. But overall, it's a nice feeling mouse. It's got the custom weights that you can put in, so I really like the mouse. For a headset, I use the Razer Kraken headset. It's got a retractable mic, super comfy, fairly good. Fairly good price. These are like 80 bucks, and I really like these headphones. For a monitor, I have just a standard Asus 23-inch panel, 60 hertz refresh rate. It's got a high contrast ratio, so the color's pretty nice on it. My next plan is to upgrade to the 144 hertz VG monitor, 24-inch monitor, but those monitors are like $270, so this one was only around 140, so it's a lot cheaper of a monitor. But that'll be next upgrade. Currently, I am running my processor overclocked at 4.4 gigahertz and a slight overclock on my graphics card because I have 3 fans. It gets plenty of cooling. I overclocked this about 100 plus 100 on the base clock, and about 200 on the memory. At 4.4 gigahertz, this thing runs Counter-Strike really fast. That's my main game that I'm playing right now. I used to play League of Legends a lot. On 1080 or a lower resolution on CS:GO than 1920, I can get like 600 frames per second, 500, 600 frames per second, while my monitor is only displaying 60. But uncapped, it definitely gets you a lot of frames off of this graphics card. The graphics card usually runs out before my processor does, because at 4.4 gigahertz, I'm really not limited by the processor at all. Usually it's the graphics card that caps out on heat. So that would be my bottleneck in this system. Maybe could upgrade for some more memory too, but you definitely get a lot of frames in a game like Counter-Strike. It performs very well, and we'll kind of just show you what it looks like operating here in a minute. So this is my gaming rig. Overall, probably about $1,700 to $1,800 in components. Obviously, I built this myself, put it together, but a really nice machine. The Rosewill case, $50 case, pretty cheap. Nice quality case, I like it. Obviously, it's a little dusty inside of here. It could use a better intake of airflow. Most of these fans are running exhaust. You can see some of my problems here. I've got fans pushing down and this fan pushing up. These are both pushing out, and these are both exhaust fans in the corner. So I'd like to get some more intake through this way, and possibly some intake through here when I get this set up differently. But overall, it's a really awesome machine, and you can run tasks just so much better than anything else, like a laptop. A lot of people just use laptops, and if you're doing, anything that requires some processing power, I would recommend a desktop fully over a laptop, because they're just so much better. So here's my setup running Counter-Strike. You can see that the color is pretty nice. Everything looks pretty good. Some of my settings, I'm doing the 1280 by 1024 4:3 stretch, 2.04 brightness. All my settings are set at medium. 4 times MSAA and the 4 times anisotropic filtering, anti-aliasing, it's all disabled. Pretty good settings, I really like them. I've gotten used to it. I don't really set everything to high. Obviously my computer can take everything at high and ultra settings, but I prefer to have it lower to get the higher frame rate. Even though my monitor can only display 60 frames per second, it still adds to some of the smoothness. People who say that there's no difference are just lying, because there is definitely a difference when you have a higher frame rate, even if your monitor is only displaying 60 frames per second, because you'll get a lot of tearing, but it's really a little bit smoother when you're playing. It just feels better to me. So yeah, that's what I use for my gaming rig and for making my YouTube videos and doing all of my eBay and everything like that. So I want to show you guys. I got my calculator and my scale, as always, for gold and silver, and a nice little black IKEA desk. It works out really nice for me, and I got my TV over there as well, so I'm all set up. Thanks for watching.